Welcome to my writing desk, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. The last few videos that I recorded have been on the products that we sell, and I like to let customers know about the fountain pens we have and whether they're any good or not. This time, however, I found 3 pens that I need to clean myself, and I figured there are a couple of people, Tarek, I'm going to call you out, some friends who have purchased fountain pens from us, and I'm not sure that they have been cleaning them. So I figured I would do a video on how to clean fountain pens. And it's all pretty straightforward. There's no magic, there's no rocket science. It's all pretty common sense, but I've got some hints and tips in here anyway, which I hope are useful for you. I have a TWSBI Vac Mini here that I had a private reserve permanent blue in. It's left a little bit of staining in the barrel that I need to get rid of. And I have a Lamy Safari, and I have no idea how I forgot this pen, but it only has a little bit of ink, not even left in the converter, but that definitely needs a clean. And lo and behold, my Kaweco Sport, at least one of them, I completely forgot about. I left it in a pen case, and the ink evaporated, the cartridge dried out, and it's all a bit of a mess. So I've got to clean this guy as well. And I'm going to take you through basically what I do to clean fountain pens, and hopefully that will be useful to you if you're unfamiliar with cleaning fountain pens, because perhaps you're used to ballpoint pens and you just got into the fountain pen hobby. And a good reminder for the experts out there too. So hopefully it'll be a useful video, and hopefully you will enjoy it. So we'll start off by looking at how to clean my Lamy Safari here. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is that the fountain pen aficionados sometimes overcomplicate things, and there's really no magic about fountain pens. Cleaning a fountain pen comes down to basically one thing, and that's flushing it with water and making it as clean as you can, and using basically any technique you can do. You can use to do that. Quite often, all you need is a tap and one of these, a glass of water. Going to pop that there. And maybe a cup with some tissue paper here. And all you're going to do is you're going to take your fountain pen, open it up, and this is the Lamy that had the black ink in it. And I'm going to take the converter out of that. Same thing goes if you got a cartridge, take a cartridge out of that. Basically what I'm going to do is, and I don't have my tap with me down here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically hold my nib section under a running tap for a while until the water runs clear. And you'll want to use cold water or lukewarm water. I think that's generally accepted as being best. And just hold it down there until, flush it until it runs clear. And then once that is once you made it as clean as you possibly can, throw it in your cup face down, leave it for a couple hours. And, if you find that not all the ink's cleared out, that's not always a big problem. Sometimes you can't get it completely clear. You can always give it another flush. Or you can even pop the converter, a clean converter, back in the pen and flush water through it just by twisting the converter back and forth, filling the pen up and forcing the water out. Some folks actually will use something like this, a little bulb here. I find those personally a bit finicky to use. And you can also get fountain pen cleaning kits. We don't actually have any, but those are essentially the same thing, a plastic bulb that you can squeeze. And what you want to do to clean this converter here is either run it under the tap and draw water into it and squeeze water out of it, or you can even just use a cup of water and basically, you're going to pretend that you're filling your converter. You won't be able to see that, so I'll move that there. Filling your converter up, squeezing the water out, and doing the same thing until the converter runs clear. Again, you could do this with the nib section attached. And, if you find that your cup of water is turning the same color as the ink, empty it out, put some new water in there, and keep doing it until it runs clear. Simple as that. No magic. What you want is a clean pen. Water is your best friend. Once the converter is clear, you could pop that into your cup of tissue face down as well, and just leave that for a couple of hours. And then put your pen back together, refill it with ink, and away you go. So the question is, how often should you clean your pen? Well, to be honest with you, I always clean my pens when they're ready for a refill. I don't generally, have a fixed time. I use the pens quite a lot. Occasionally, they do get a little bit dry and crusty like this guy here. But if I'm actively using a pen, then every time I finished and the pen is empty and I've run out of ink, I'll give it a quick flush, and I've never had any problems. My fountain pens have always been pretty well maintained that way. So again, no magic. All you want to do is flush it occasionally with water, get the water running clear, and you're good to go. Now, I had mentioned that my Kaweco Sport here has adopted a little bit of a dryness, to say the least. It's been left in a pen case, and it's really dry. Now, how do you get a dry pen clean? Well, the way I do it, to be honest with you, is I throw it into my cup of water, maybe add 1 drop washing up liquid, and I leave it to soak. And then I go back to my sink, and I use the tap to flush it through, and I just basically clean it that way. Some people will use something like this, which is the J. Harbin pen cleaning fluid. To be honest, I've never used this, so I don't have any experience with it. And I don't have any experience with any of the other pen cleaning fluids either, because, essentially, fountain pen ink is water soluble. Okay, you wouldn't use, for example, an oil-based ink or an Indian ink in a fountain pen, because it'll just clog it up. And if you soak a nib section long enough, then eventually, it generally will become clean. So, newfangled gadgets and chemicals and this, that, and the other have never really been a thing for me personally. One thing I would say, though, is keep the empty cartridges, because what you could do with these, and a lot of people do, is they'll refill empty cartridges with ink, just with a flat syringe. You can suck up some ink and put it in there. Now, the other thing you can do with these is you can hack off the end of the cartridge, or some of the pens that you can get will actually have a cartridge already in the feed section that has a little hole in it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. And if you do own a syringe, then what you can do, if you can get an airtight seal, is you can pop the cartridge in a syringe like that, and that actually, once you put it back in the nib section, makes quite a good cleaning device. A little bit of a hack device. So you could throw that in your cup of water, suck the water through, and force it through the nib and the feed, and keep doing that either under the sink or in a cup of water until it's clean. And there you have a use for your cartridges and also your syringe as well. So it's kind of really anything goes when it comes to cleaning nibs. And as I mentioned, there's no magic. Or cleaning pens, there's no magic. You just got to do what you can to get the thing as clean as possible. And like I said, I'd recommend something like this pen here, which is dry. Literally throw it in a cup with one blob of washing up liquid, and just leave it there for a few hours before flushing it out. Simple as that. Now, I had mentioned that I had a TWSBI Minivac that I had some private reserve permanent ink in, and it's left a little bit of a stain, and I haven't actually cleaned it yet. I flushed the pen, but it's still showing some blue here. And the great thing about the TWSBIs is you can actually take the nib section out here, and you can give that a good flush under the tap. But what I'm going to do with this guy, so if I can get that going there, is just use something like a cotton bud. And, I'm going to get the cotton bud in there. I'm going to make sure everything's nice and wet under the tap, and give it a good scrub. And hopefully that will come clean. I could also use a little bit of tissue paper wrapped around the cotton bud as well. Give it a good clean. If it's really stubborn, I'll soak it But I think that'll come clean pretty quickly. So once again, just to recap, cleaning your fountain pen shouldn't be too much of a chore. Regular fountain pen maintenance, maybe each time you're going to fill up your pen because you've run out of ink, is a good time to clean your pen. So regular fountain pen maintenance is healthy, is good. Don't think too much out of it. It's not rocket science. It's pretty straightforward. All you need is water. But whatever you do, try not to let your fountain pen dry out. If you know that you're not going to use your fountain pen for some time, then give it a clean and put it away. And then next time you go to use it, it'll be right there ready to fill with ink. Maybe you're going on vacation or something for a few weeks and you don't want to take your pen with you. Give it a clean, okay? Treat your fountain pen well, and your fountain pen will treat you well. Many thanks for watching the video. If you do like our videos, please hit the subscribe button below, and you can find us at www.nightwriting.ca, and we'll see you soon.